moving on now to someone that is having probably the best 2024 out of anyone on this planet right now. He just won a Best Director Oscar for his work on Oppenheimer. We're talking about Christopher Nolan. And now news has come out that he is going to receive a knighthood. So those of you that's not unaware on this, that is where they become from Christopher Nolan to Sir Christopher Nolan. And he's getting that title. It is quite a prestigious title as well. And it's not just for the film industry, it's pretty much worldwide, like any industry you can become a Sir. I'm not sure what the criteria is. I'm pretty sure you'd be part of the British colony or British something for to be eligible for it. So not only is Christopher Nolan becoming a Sir, his wife Emma Thomas will also become a Dame, so she'll be Dame Emma Thomas. That's pretty much the same thing as a Sir, but for the female version. So James, favorite director of all time, he's about to get that Sir in front of it. How do you feel?
I don't know, like it's obviously I'm stoked, and you know, the people that are, there's always someone who's against Christopher Nolan. At some point along, I guess, the course of time, liking Christopher Nolan or hating Christopher Nolan became a cool thing, where it's just like, oh, it's a Nolan fanboy. I don't know if you've heard that term, but I've heard it loads. Like, and it's just, and it always happens when someone becomes really popular. There's always that, you know, they get so much love, but there's also so many people trying to take away from that and being like, some people just they don't like to love the norm. And that's really what Christopher Nolan's become. He's become one of the directors in terms of that name. It's just become a norm in terms of, you know, being associated with, you know, great films. And so some people love to take away from that. So I guess this adds a little bit of a caliber to our arsenal. The people who like Christopher Nolan, we get to say, actually, it's Sir Christopher Nolan.
So it's just more fuel for you to use against Kyan.
No, that's just friendly banter. We agree at heart on how they are separate, different conversation. But I'm extremely happy for him. Christopher Nolan he's a director who I felt was not underappreciated, because a lot of people loved him, but he lacked the recognition from his fellow peers and the fellow industry, and it didn't align very well with how the general public perceived his films and himself. Everybody loves him and loves his films, or like the majority does. And he just wasn't getting any recognition, whether it's by the Academy or other major award ceremonies. And so it's just good to really see him finally get his due. He's always been consistent as a man, as a person, as a creator. He's always spoken the same. He doesn't, you know, complain that, you know, oh, I should have got that award, or, you know, he loves movies. He makes movies for the art of it. He doesn't make movies for, you know, the big fan base. He doesn't buy into the fame, because I think it's pretty undisputed at this point in time that he is the most famous director right now in terms of name recognition. Not the most beloved or anything, but in terms of the most popular, I think it's him. So, I mean...
Maybe Spielberg is also in that question. I mean, anyone knows.
I would not say Spielberg, simply because of the younger generation that has come now. And Nolan's far more relevant towards the younger generation at this point in time, just because he kind of makes banger after banger. Well, Spielberg still does. His films don't cater towards the younger generation. But there's a case to be made for Spielberg. But anyway, yeah, so it's just never aligned in terms of the popularity that he's faced with the general movie-going audience versus his peers. So I'm just glad that this just adds something to him. It shows him that what he is doing is valuable. People do appreciate him and his work that he does. And yeah, I mean, all credit to him, man. Like, he created films that have, you know, been a big part of my life and a big part of my journey and being. So, I mean, I'm happy for him. I guess that's all I can really say. What about you? I think he's your favorite director of all time, isn't he?
Yeah, it's like very close between him and Spielberg, which is why I brought up Spielberg. Like, it's always ever interchanging, like it's never like locked, but those two are definitely like locked. If I could give number one equal, it would be number one equal to them too. Yeah. But yeah, same boat as you. I mean, he's just had a stellar offer here, you know, best picture, best director among all the technical stuff and acting stuff for his film in Oppenheimer. He also got
Yeah.
Director of the Decade as well, and now he's getting knighted. So it's nice to see that his work is getting recognized by people.
Yep.
I'm not sure if there is a current director out there that has that Sir title. I can't
should
think
be.
of any, because I feel majority of the great directors are all American or people that's not eligible to become a knight. So it's going to be buzzy as to see his next film saying from director Sir Christopher Nolan, in the
Would
trailer
it
title
say
card.
would it say that?
I
I hope he
feel-
puts it on. It'd be cool.
I feel it's his choice at the end of the day. He might just go
Yeah.
run with his other name and be absolutely humble about it, which I think he will. Otherwise, he'll just,
Yeah, I don't know who else. I mean, I know Lewis Hamilton is Sir Lewis Hamilton, but I've never
Is it?
heard anyone refer to him as Sir Lewis Hamilton.
I think it's an age thing, really. I think it's age, like Sir Ben Kingsley, Sir
there you
Anthony
go.
Hopkins, they're all
Yeah.
old, so you just go with that. But like these younger guys, you just like, oh, they've always been like Lewis Hamilton, they've always been Christopher Nolan. You
Yeah.
Even rugby, like Graham Henry, he's Sir Graham Henry, but it's just Graham Henry. It's just that's how
Yeah.
it is. So I think it's really a generational thing. I'm sure the older they get, the next generation will end up calling them Sir. But for us, because we grew up with them in their films, that we're first name basis with them.
Yeah,
So to speak.
yeah.
But yeah, like you said, incredibly happy for him, and what an absolute couple years from him as well.
For sure.